A lot of things this case has stopped me from doing, traveling all across the world, making. So I just want to get it over with and, accept my guilty plea. I'm ready to get over with.
Anything you want to say to your fans?
Just say a prayer for me. I just need prayer. I don't need nothing else.
Well, Charleston White was celebrating you taking the plea deal. I think he even said he hopes you die in jail and stuff like that.
Yeah, I heard.
The biggest thing right now was that you actually accepted a plea deal for your federal gun case.
Yeah.
Now, how long have you been fighting this thing from the very, very beginning?
I've been fighting for probably 3 years, man, probably.
3 years.
Boosie could be facing up to a decade behind bars over his federal gun charges. And who was first to celebrate the news? Charleston White. The moment Boosie's legal troubles hit the blogs, Charleston went live online, grinning like he'd won a jackpot. Laughing, he claimed he always knew Boosie would land in prison and admitted he'd been waiting for this moment. He even went as far as saying he wouldn't mind if Boosie never got out. Earlier this month, Boosie told fans he'd agreed to a plea deal after years of exhausting legal battles. He explained that, although the charges had been dropped once before, prosecutors came back in 2024 with a new indictment. This time, the stakes were high, potentially up to 10 years. While Boosie shared emotional posts about trusting God and feeling worn out by the system, Charleston was popping champagne and mocking his struggle online. Their feud has reached a whole new level, with Charleston seemingly savoring every laugh at Boosie's expense. Fans noticed Charleston celebrating Boosie taking the plea, even joking about hoping he doesn't make it out of prison. Boosie, on the other hand, had been battling this case for nearly 3 years.
She going to jail! Oh, going to jail! Oh, God! Oh, God is good. I keep telling y'all, street ain't got no God. God do not look out for street. Boosie really thought he wasn't going to jail for that pistol. I knew he was going. She going to jail. All that newborn baby. Boosie won't get to see that newborn baby till that baby be walking and talking. Boosie going to jail!
It started as a state case but was later picked up by federal prosecutors. A favorable Supreme Court ruling once led to the charges being dropped, giving fans hope Boosie could finally focus on his music and family. But the 2024 indictment changed everything, and Boosie ultimately accepted the plea, admitting on social media that he'd grown weary of fighting. Charleston also tried to drag other rappers into his commentary, but Boosie stayed cautious, refusing to respond to potential threats that could worsen his situation. He emphasized that expressing opinions about certain people online could land him in prison, so he had to hold back. This time, Boosie sounded different, tired, humbled, and leaning on faith. Followers noticed a shift. This wasn't the fiery, reactive Boosie known for online comebacks. This felt like a man accepting the weight of a serious legal reality.
He just pled guilty, and he's facing up to 15.
God answered my prayers.
Why?
Because I prayed for him to be found guilty. Y'all don't remember? Remember, I prayed.
No, I remember.
10 years isn't small, and Boosie's posts reflected the gravity of what might come. Despite fan support, Charleston continued to troll him, showing up online with a smirk, openly celebrating what he saw as Boosie's inevitable downfall. Charleston's obsession with Boosie isn't new. Every time trouble hits, Charleston appears like clockwork. Fans and Boosie both recognize that engaging with him could bring real-world consequences, especially given Charleston's reputation for escalating threats to authorities. The roots of this feud go back to 2022 during the Kanye West White Lives Matter controversy. Boosie spoke out against the message, criticizing it as disrespectful to Black people. Charleston, instead of targeting Kanye, went after Boosie, dragging him into a prolonged online war. It escalated further when Charleston began insulting Boosie's children, claiming they couldn't defend themselves and predicting legal trouble for them. The trolling crossed personal lines, and it became clear that Charleston wasn't just an online provocateur. He was willing to go very low to get under someone's skin. Throughout it all, Boosie stayed calm. In interviews, he explained why he refrained from responding aggressively. He recognized that replying could worsen his legal situation or put his family at risk. His restraint showed that he wasn't afraid of Charleston. He was simply playing it smart. For years, Boosie has navigated chaos, from legal issues to street beefs, and even health scares. Yet this gun charge might be the first challenge that feels overwhelming. The battle has been draining, but Boosie's faith and measured approach show a man trying to survive and protect what matters most. Boosie could be facing up to 10 years behind bars for his federal gun case, and the first person to celebrate was Charleston White. As soon as the news broke, Charleston went live online, grinning like he'd hit the jackpot. Laughing, he claimed he always knew Boosie would end up in prison and admitted he'd been waiting for this moment, even saying he wouldn't mind if Boosie never got out. Earlier, Boosie had told fans he accepted a plea deal after years of legal battles. Charges had been dropped before, but in 2024, prosecutors returned with a new indictment. Feeling drained, Boosie admitted on social media that he was tired of fighting and decided to take the deal, leaning on faith to get through it. While he shared emotional posts about trusting God, Charleston celebrated, mocking him and popping champagne. This tension traces back to 2022 during the Kanye West White Lives Matter controversy. Boosie spoke out against Kanye's message, calling it disrespectful to black people. Charleston, instead of confronting Kanye, attacked Boosie online. The feud escalated, dragging Boosie's children into the drama. Charleston made cruel comments about Boosie's sons, predicting trouble for them, showing he wasn't just trolling, he was going low to provoke real reactions. Boosie, however, stayed calm. He avoided responding publicly, knowing that any misstep could worsen his legal problems. He explained in interviews that it wasn't fear, it was strategy. Despite his restraint, Charleston kept turning every moment into chaos, celebrating Boosie's arrests, mocking his health issues, and twisting his struggles into entertainment. By early 2023, the feud intensified. Charleston was trolling other rappers like T, and Boosie's son Tootie fired back, calling Charleston messy and even wishing him dead. Charleston escalated further, going live to wish Boosie harm, referencing his health and family. He bragged about reporting Tootie to authorities, claiming Boosie's legal troubles made his son a target. Soon after, Tootie was arrested on gun charges, and Charleston took credit, claiming he tipped off law enforcement. This wasn't just online drama anymore, it had real-life consequences. In 2024, Boosie was arrested again in San Diego, and Charleston immediately turned it into a spectacle online, comparing Boosie to Daniel in the lion's den and mocking his situation as divine punishment. Fans struggled to tell whether Charleston was serious or just trolling, but it was undeniably cruel. Meanwhile, Boosie stayed focused on survival and protecting his family, consistently emphasizing strategy over reaction. Even young streamers got pulled into Charleston's orbit. Aiden Ross claimed he refused Boosie on live out of loyalty to Charleston, which exploded on social media. DJ Vlad had to step in, exposing Charleston's influence and showing that even minor figures treated his chaos as currency. Charleston had become more than a troll. He was using controversy to gain clout, manipulating public perception, and keeping the feud alive. The feud goes back to 2022, during the Kanye West White Lives Matter controversy. Boosie criticized Kanye for disrespecting black people, and Charleston jumped on him instead of Kanye, escalating the tension. Soon, Boosie's children were dragged into the drama. Charleston made cruel comments about Boosie's sons, predicting trouble for them, proving this wasn't just online trolling, it was personal. Boosie stayed calm, knowing that reacting could worsen his legal situation. He explained in interviews that restraint wasn't fear, it was strategy. But Charleston turned every moment into chaos, celebrating Boosie's arrests, mocking his health issues, and twisting his struggles into entertainment. By early 2023, the feud intensified. Charleston trolled other rappers like T, and Boosie's son Tootie fired back. Charleston escalated, wishing Boosie harm, referencing his health, and bragging about reporting Tootie to authorities. Not long after, Tootie was arrested on gun charges, and Charleston took credit, claiming he tipped off law enforcement. The online war had real-life consequences. In 2024, Boosie was arrested again in San Diego. Charleston immediately turned it into a spectacle online, comparing Boosie to Daniel in the lion's den and mocking him as if it were divine punishment. Fans struggled to tell if he was serious or just trolling, but it was undeniably cruel. Meanwhile, Boosie stayed focused on survival and protecting his family, consistently emphasizing strategy over reaction. Charleston's influence extended beyond Boosie. Young streamers like Aiden Ross were pulled into the drama, claiming loyalty to Charleston, which exploded on social media until DJ Vlad exposed Charleston's toxic influence. Charleston had become more than a troll. He was turning chaos into clout, manipulating perception, and keeping the feud alive. Boosie's decision to accept a plea deal makes sense in this context. Facing a courtroom where Charleston could show up, run his mouth, and turn the trial into a circus was too risky. Charleston has a long history of informing on people, even from his youth when he testified against friends during a rubber-related death. He calls it survival. But in the streets, that reputation never goes away. Charleston would have turned Boozie's trial into a full-blown spectacle, pointing fingers, cracking jokes, and bragging online the moment it ended. Now, Charleston is celebrating loudly, treating Boozie's legal struggles as karma fulfilled. From the 2022 feud, to Tootie's involvement, to the arrests and ongoing trolling, it's clear Charleston has been waiting for this moment. Boosie isn't behind bars yet, but the plea deal could mean a decade away from freedom. Meanwhile, Charleston is online, popping champagne and laughing as if he's already won. The streets are watching, half entertained, half anticipating the next chaotic chapter. If Charleston is this loud now, imagine the show he'll put on if Boosie is actually sentenced. It'll be another level of drama, a mix of personal vendetta and public spectacle. For Boosie, this isn't just another legal battle. It's a test of endurance, strategy, and faith, facing a man who thrives on chaos and won't stop until he's gotten every last laugh.